Can animals experience existential dread? New research says it's possible. Should science dig deeper is a debate that challenges long-held beliefs about consciousness, self-awareness, and animal emotions. For centuries, humans have assumed that existential thinking, fear of mortality, self-reflection, and the search for meaning, is unique to our species. However, new studies in animal cognition, neuroscience, and behavioral psychology suggest that some species may experience emotions beyond simple survival instincts. Scientists have long documented grief, mourning, and emotional bonds in elephants, whales, primates, and corvids, raising questions about the depth of animal awareness. If animals can grieve their dead, recall past experiences, and exhibit signs of depression, could they also experience existential dread? Existential dread, in humans, is the deep awareness of one's mortality, the search for purpose, and the fear of the unknown. Recent experiments with chimpanzees, crows, and dolphins suggest that animals may recognize death, anticipate danger, and respond with behaviors beyond basic instinct. Chimpanzees have been observed staring at dead companions, refusing to leave their side, and even showing signs of anxiety after their loss. Some elephants return to the bones of their deceased relatives, caressing them gently as if contemplating the meaning of death. Ravens and magpies have been seen gathering around dead members of their flock, sometimes engaging in what appears to be mourning rituals. If animals can mourn death, does this indicate an awareness of their own mortality, or is it purely an emotional response to loss? Neuroscientists studying animal brains have found that mammals share similar neural pathways responsible for fear, anxiety, and emotional processing as humans. Research on rats suggests they can experience anticipatory fear, avoiding places where they've seen other rats die, hinting at a sense of danger beyond immediate threats. Dolphins have shown self-awareness in mirror tests, demonstrating a level of cognitive complexity that suggests introspective thinking may be possible. Some studies suggest that great apes and corvids exhibit future-oriented thinking, meaning they can anticipate events beyond the present moment. This ability to mentally project into the future raises the question, can animals comprehend their eventual death, or do they only react to immediate threats? Philosophers and cognitive scientists argue that existential dread requires abstract thought, a sense of time, and an understanding of life's finiteness. While humans contemplate the meaning of life, the universe, and our purpose, it remains unclear if animals process thoughts in the same way. Critics argue that anthropomorphism, the tendency to project human emotions onto animals, may be distorting interpretations of their behavior. Just because an animal shows fear, distress, or behavioral changes after a loss, does not necessarily mean it understands the concept of mortality. However, if animals can feel deep sadness, emotional pain, and anticipatory anxiety, is it ethical to assume they do not experience existential emotions? Some scientists believe that studying animal consciousness more deeply could reshape conservation ethics, animal rights, and our understanding of intelligence. If animals experience existential dread, would this change how zoos, farms, and research facilities treat them? Would it alter how we justify hunting, captivity, or using animals for entertainment and experimentation? Certain species, like octopuses, dolphins, and crows, demonstrate cognitive behaviors that suggest they process memories, emotions, and future consequences. If they are capable of abstract thought, would they also be capable of wondering why things happen or fearing an uncertain future? In captivity, some animals exhibit signs of depression, pacing, or even self-harm, which could indicate a form of existential distress. Orangutans raised in isolation have been observed showing repetitive behaviors similar to human anxiety disorders, suggesting deep psychological struggles. In the wild, predator species sometimes stop hunting after losing a mate, hinting at emotional disruptions beyond survival instincts. However, skeptics argue that instinct, rather than existential reflection, explains these behaviors, as animals rely on routine and learned survival mechanisms. Some researchers worry that if we focus too much on existential emotions in animals, we risk distorting objective scientific analysis. Others argue that ignoring the possibility of existential experiences in animals is a form of scientific arrogance, assuming that humans are the only creatures capable of deep thought. If science digs deeper into this question, it would require neuroscientific studies, behavioral analysis, and cross-species comparisons of emotional responses. One of the biggest challenges is that animals cannot verbally communicate their experiences, making it difficult to confirm existential awareness. However, new advancements in AI-assisted behavior analysis and neuroimaging could provide more insight into how animals process emotions and mortality-related experiences. Some ethicists believe that proving animals can feel existential emotions would strengthen legal protections against animal cruelty, captivity, and unethical treatment. If certain species experience deep psychological distress, would that mean we need to redefine how we categorize sentient life? Religious and philosophical debates could emerge, challenging the long-standing belief that humans are the only creatures capable of contemplating existence. Conservationists argue that if animals can feel existential dread, then habitat destruction and forced captivity are causing greater harm than previously thought. Instead of focusing solely on species preservation, conservation laws may need to consider emotional well-being and mental health in animal populations. Some experts worry that recognizing existential emotions in animals could lead to more human-like ethical debates over predator-prey relationships and natural survival struggles. If animals experience fear of death or sadness over loss, should we intervene in nature to prevent suffering, or is that overstepping ethical boundaries? Science may never fully determine whether animals experience existential dread in the same way humans do, but the question itself challenges deep-rooted beliefs about intelligence. Should research continue exploring animal consciousness, even if it forces difficult ethical and moral considerations for human society? If science proves animals experience existential distress, would humans be morally obligated to change how we interact with and protect non-human species? Regardless of the final answer, the very fact that scientists are asking these questions reveals how much our understanding of animal intelligence is evolving. Whether animals truly feel existential dread or not, one thing is certain: they experience emotions far richer and more complex than we ever imagined.